Good morning. Had a 6 a.m. Bible study, and one of the questions, the practical application questions, was, does your walk ever get stale, and why do you think that is? And I was thinking about how, in the first 8 years of my journey with God, it did from time to time. But I was in this place of the main focus of my walk was on behavior or performance of me as a Christian, trying to do certain things in order to please God. Instead of understanding that relationship and that love of God, that call of God for us to come home, come to me all who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Give you rest for your souls that you've been longing to find in all these different places. Even in church, we try and behave in a certain way in order to receive that home or that rest in our souls. But when we truly come to that place of submitting our life to God and trusting in Him, and that's that part of yoking ourselves to Jesus and learn from Him and understand who He is and understand that we've had this longing for, in our lives to come home. He's calling us home. And when we come back, it will never get stagnant. It won't get in that place because it's not about our performance or our behavior. It's about the love of the Father coming to us and understanding we were once orphans. Now all of a sudden we're part of a family and we know we're loved and accepted by God. That never gets old. The love of God never gets old. It's always, that's the woman at the well. She's been searching for this love and acceptance in men, but Jesus is saying, come to me that you will never thirst again. And that longing for us to find that home and that rest for our souls. We're all born apart from God. We're all orphans. So we live our lives out of that orphan mentality. So then we can never really celebrate anybody else's success because deep down we're striving to receive, even inside church. Unless you come to that place of submitting your life to God, you won't have that rest for your soul because you're always going to be striving. You could be an orphan inside of church because you've never come to the end of yourself. But when you understand God's love is coming towards you and His desire for you is to come home, the prodigal story is perfect for that. That father runs out to his son after he's gone off and spent his family's inheritance on wild living. Yet the father's desire for him is just to come home so he could love him and have that relationship with him. And that's what it is. Religion is the opposite of that. Religion is saying you need to perform for Dad so that He will love you. But the gospel actually teaches that God loves you and desires for you to come home and have a relationship with Him and rest. That way that anxiousness and those fears and all that stuff can fall off of you and you can just be His. Then what happens is the fruit out of your life becomes love. So then you love God with all your heart and you love your neighbor as yourself. You're able to just be that love of God wherever you go. That's freedom. And that's where Christ's call for our lives is to be in freedom. It is for freedom that Christ has set you free. Stand firm then and do not commit again to a yoke of slavery. Don't go back to that of trying to earn Dad's favor by what we do. Understand who we are and then we become that. We become the fragrance. We're transformed more into His image as we're yoked to Him. We learn more about Him. We don't ever have shame and guilt and self-condemnation anymore. We're in a place of conviction when there's things that we need to change because we're always needing to change some things. But we're rooted in the fact that we're loved and accepted by God and we found our home. Now we don't have to strive anymore. We could just rest in Him and love. The greatest of these is love. God bless y'all.